Good evening. At this time, I'd like to call our meeting. No problem. Our meeting to order for the agenda of this meeting. It is a meeting where we look over our budget, and we're going to ask you to, well, we really don't need approval. We really don't need it. All because this is really a work session. We also do not need the citizens and comments on this session. That's not necessary until we do the last, until we present it to the public. After tonight, if we decided to adopt it, to go out to the library and places you're gonna place it. Then we'll come back at our next meeting, ask of any comments. Then we will approve either at the next meeting. Okay. So at this time, we have before us the draft of the budget presentation by our own county manager. If you would at this time come and go over anything that you think that we need to know as we look at a draft that we're going to put out for the people to see. But I want everybody to know this will not be adopted until after it has gone out and the public have seen it. And then we come back and we'll have public comments. Okay. So at this time, Mr.
Make sure that the correct thing is showing on the screen.
It's the next presentation. Say budget. Going on online.
It's recorded.
Because this will be presented again.
Yes,
And
yes, this is just a work session. Okay.
want me to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you again for allowing me to come and present to you, the commissioners. This is our second budget work session. Last time we met, may sound like I'm repeating some things, but it's okay. The budget that you see before you is a balanced budget. It's in accordance with the general statutes of North Carolina. I believe it's a good budget. I have some key highlights that we spoke of on the last time. What I did this time around, and anything you see in red on this summary sheet is what I added since we last spoke. But I'm just going to run through each one of these bullets once again. May not go through all of the details like we did the last time, but I do have a summary sheet of what we've changed since the last time. And then if we do have any questions or concerns, we can definitely go into it. But the budget that you see before you is a $38 million, $39 million budget, of which $32 million is from general funds. The fund balance appropriation is basically flat from last year, meaning what we asked for last year, we're not asking for more this year from the to balance the budget. It's $1.693 million. There's no tax increase in this budget. The current tax rate is 90.5 cents per $100 of assessed value. It's based on a 95% collection rate. We actually collected 96.2% in fiscal 2022. half-cent decrease would be about $109,000. I did have an opportunity to talk to Ted Cole from Davenport, and we discussed, the sustainability of continuing to give a tax break. And as we were looking over the numbers, we both came to the conclusion, because there is so much fluctuation in the economy today, so many unknowns as far as, especially from a sales tax point of view. If you look at the 2021 numbers for sales tax, it was about 3.6 million. We're projecting I believe it's 2.5 this at the end of this year, or 2.9. So it's $700,000 decrease. That's what we're projecting. We're budgeting another 2.9.
How did you come up with the decrease in sales tax? How did you come up with?
We're looking at everything that we've collected to date. And to date, that's what we've accounted for, 2.9 million. And we took the numbers that were entered as of the 10th month. And then we just took that number and annualized it. Is there opportunity? I believe there's some opportunity for more collections that will be recorded between now and the end of the fiscal year. So if anything, our numbers can improve. It's not going to get any worse than this. I think it will improve. Correct.
Because I said to the board, what we'll do is look at our total numbers, and then we'll come back and look at how much we decrease we want to give citizens of our county. So you go through it, and then we'll look at all of it, and then we'll look at the numbers. We know that every time we would do 0.5%, we're talking about $109,000 decrease in the amount of money we have. Okay, so I just wanted the board to understand that what we were doing was going through it and making sure that we got everything in this budget possible we can think of that we need. Then we're gonna come back in and look at.
Right.
Yeah, because out of that 1.9 to subtract $500,000 from that would be bad a bit, but we'll talk about that later. Okay.
Okay. The budget assumes full staffing, no vacancies, and that's at a value of $728,000. Back in March of this year, the board approved a MAP group adjustment for all staff, which totals $394,000 annually. That number is included in this budget. Went back and we look at the MAPS group suggestions for this time around is what I'm calling second phase. They did give us a number to get our pay correct to the correct amount, to the market amount. That was at a 1%. We're recommending doing another 0.5%, just like we did the first time around. The 0.5%, that total is $312,000. 1%, it was over $500,000. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna recommend we do the 0.5% effective July 1st. And then next year around this time, we look at these numbers again, see where we're at, and then come back with a phase 3. And hopefully when we looking at that phase 3, that'll get us to the number we need to be once and for all with the rest of the current market.
So what we're going to do is from our pay study, we're not able to, what I hear him saying at this time, kind of recommend, we're not able to do all the pay study have asked us to do to bring our employees up, but we were going to take it in phases.
Right.
That's what I mean, you're saying.
Right.
That you're looking at doing half of it now, probably half of it a little later.
Now, I know there was a question about some positions that were compression. There was some issues about some compression issues in some departments. What we attempted to do here is for those positions that were more impacted, meaning that if you have clerical positions, degrees, and so on and so forth, and they were close to that $15 increase that we gave to the lowest paid individuals, basically making our minimum wage $15. We added that this plan called for a $585 increase for those positions again. So what we did is I went back and I added another $1,000 to those positions that were affected in the previous plan. So that's another 30,000 on top of what MAP group has suggested. Now, can we do that for everyone? No, we can't. That'll give you an astronomical number. Because if you go around the board and say, well, you know, if you're going to increase me by 1,000, then you're going to affect this cost category. They're going to want to get increased by 1,000. It's going to have a trickle down effect. And you just can't do that for everyone. What you want to do is make sure that at least you're paying fairly on a market basis. And I hate to say this, but the only way to fix it is to go back to what you were doing before. And I don't think you guys want to do that. I think you want to go below that $15 minimum that you've established. I think that was a good thing. I think that affected morale really well. And, you know, for the positions that have been compressed, we've made an attempt to put a gap, and it's at least a 5% gap. And that's what I've been accustomed to, at least a 5% gap. For some supervisors, we've tried to do 10% from where I come from, but the rule of thumb was always 5%. 5%. Supervisor subordinate relationship. And these are not supervisor subordinate relationships. These are across the board positions that we're talking about. So we did make an attempt to remedy some of that. So there's about, like I said, 29, 30 positions that were impacted. We adjusted them an additional $1,000.
They were in the lowest band, what you're saying?
Right.
Between those that were receiving below 15.
Right. So
now those who were at a point that was right there.
Right next to them, right. And they could have been clerical workers. Some had degrees, some don't, but you know, that we still maintain at least a 5% difference in pay.
I think that's a work session. Because we kind of need to have our pulse on what the pay scale is like for our employees. And what are the steps? And how are the steps being adjusted? Are they being adjusted? On what level, not just the lowest band, but
right.
You've got seasoned people who have been here for a while, whether they're in the lowest band or the next band.
Right.
You don't want it to be too compressed. That I know that's not what it is in a sense, because it means funding the salary study. But I just like to have more discussion about the next phase.
Right, and this phase is a 2.1% increase, plus the half percent, or the half cent, that additional for every year of service. And so they're trying to compensate for the number of years of service in there also.
And so that is a change from, that bullet is almost there. I'll let you get to that bullet. Go ahead. I won't steal your thunder.
Oh, no, it's okay.
And so the citizens will see where there's red, that's a change.
Right.
That's there. And so in red font, that means that's different from the last presentation.
Correct. Okay. Correct. Again, there was a $33 per employee medical increase. That's $108,000 annually. And here's the other change that we made. Before we had a merit increase projected in the budget at 2.5%, for a total of $314,511. We're just reclassifying that since we're going to do this phase 2 for MAPS. We can call that a COLA because COLA is being distributed or implemented throughout North Carolina this year. And I don't know what the rates are going to be at this point. I know my wife said hers is going to be about 5%. I said, well, are you going to get a merit increase? She said, no. So I look at the two combined, it's going to be equal to what people are getting just for their one COLA. We're going to look at giving the COLA plus the MAPS increase. So that's going to help. And that's why I'm saying by the time we get to that phase 3, when we start looking at that study, we should be pretty much closer to where we want to be, and it won't be too much of a financial hit at that point. This budget assumes one new community paramedic at $75,000 per year, and a new fire inspector at $64,000 per year. Retirement is estimated to be 11.42%, the local general class of employees, and 12.04% for law enforcement. And those are current rates. We haven't received a revised rate as of yet. Budget assumes financing a $200,000 animal shelter. We're looking to finance that, and this is just estimates $25,000 a year for 10 years and an estimate 5% interest rate. Might get blessed and get that funded to us. We'll know something more in the weeks to come, days and weeks to come. Our capital outlay, anything greater than 5 operations, we got 311,000 budgeted. And for the enterprise funds, another 355,000. That's all listed out at the end of the presentation. The budget includes 4 new vehicles for the sheriff at 153,000 and 1 new vehicle for buildings and ground at 45. And I left out administration is another $45,000 there. And again, we budgeted the total amount, but we might save if we're going to look to finance these cars, at least get lease financing. So that'll be a savings to us. Now on the second page, what I wanted to show here is the total operating budget. When we met last time on the first session was $38,586,513. And we had multiple adjustments. I'm just going to go through these adjustments for you. In education, we changed the submission by the Board of Education. They submitted their funding request at $4,233,000. We had more in the first phase of this budget, and that's reduced by 119,000. Public safety, we had the CPTA funding that we received. We changed that from 5,000 to 8,000. Tri-County Airport Authority submitted their request, and we went from 22,000 in the first phase of the budget down to 20,000. Environmental protection, we had the forestry program submitted their budget proposal. We went from 114,659 to 117,122. Upper Coastal Plain went from 9,394 to 8,012 on their funding request. CADA went from 13,000 to 15,000. So we bumped them up just a little bit. Northampton Chamber of Commerce, their funding request came in at 16,163. We dropped that down from what we had in our budget. We basically used what we paid out this year. Capital outlay expenditures, we went from 850 to 811,986, miscellaneous adjustments. Other human services, mental health. We didn't have anything in the budget last phase, so I added the 81,614 best based on what we're paying currently. So I was able to get the research done on that and get that number in there. And as you can see, the maps through pay plan phase 2 at $312,027. And then I reduced our contingency from 300,000 to 118,129, 182,000. So all of these adjustments got them to net out to zero. So we're still in the same operating position where we were last time around. What I like is that, again, the fund balance appropriation of 1,693,000 that we're looking for to balance this budget is basically flat from what we asked for last year. So we're not asking for more, not asking for too much less. I think it's around $45,000 difference.
Did we include in this budget? I don't see it here. I'm trying to, what do we do for, we control, is it Lake Gas and is, we got that in there?
Yes, they submitted what they requested.
Okay.
Have that in there. I think it was like 116.
That's right. Mhm. How about, did we, okay, well, your community college,
Community college, we did get Roanoke Chowan.
okay,
We got their numbers. We got Halifax also, and that's also included in it.
There was no adjustment from the conversation we had after the board. There was no adjustment made from the conversation we had about the grant partnership with the workers.
No.
I would suggest to you, between now and the time we do this, get in touch with Ronald Chawan, with the president over there.
Okay.
And let's, if we know it's coming, we need to go on and prepare for it. See if we got to take care of the utilities for that building in Rich Square. Okay. If you don't mind, check on them, because she probably, being new too, did not know that that grant that we received, that she received, or how it was. I think we need to check on, if you just check on that.
Okay.
And Mr. Phillips, had you had any conversation with Ms. Turner regarding the office building at the landfill and repairing or possibly putting in the budget monies to possibly get some new structure there for the staff there?
Yes.
All right. We
Has that, because I
did
haven't,
talk about that, and we have the 800,000 in capital outlay. And again, it's just a similar situation where we have with the animal shelter. Instead of taking a lump sum and paying out all of our cash, we're going to look to, can we buy the building on a lease,
Mhm.
or on a installment payment?
Okay.
Instead of paying 250,000 in 1 year,
Right.
we pay 50,000 a year.
Mhm.
So
So that's something you have
yes, that's in her.
all in the works with.
Yes. That was in her budget
Because the-
request, yes.
Yeah, I know that's been a concern, that
The
space.
same thing with the dog shelter. Yeah, animal shelter, okay? We know that might cost us quite a few dollars, and what we're looking at was to put a building there, animal shelter there, with a lease that we be paying on each year, instead of it coming out of our budget all at one time. So
Mhm.
we're looking at that, but we got some other things that's coming about, and the county manager working on it. The state has some money. So the
Mhm.
state is looking at us, so we'll just keep our hands crossed. But on those two, we have enough money in there to do all of that, providing we just do it so much each year. Okay.
I just, because I see it outlined here for the animal shelter, but I want to see something like that stated here.
For what now?
I see it, the budget assumes financing for a new shelter, animal shelter, that's fine.
Mhm.
I want to see budget assumes financing for a new structure for our employees that work on that landfill, because that particular structure that's there now, it needs some work.
No, we're gonna get one
Okay.
back. Well, he just didn't, we need to list it down.
That's all I'm saying. We need to make it a priority, like we're making the shelter.
I mean, it's a priority.
A
It's
priority.
already there. It's in our capital outlay budget.
Just write it down.
Just write it
That's all.
down.
Let's make it, that's it. That's all. Let the people know
I heard you.
You know, that's us saying.
we care for the people
Okay.
too. Yes.
Were there any other folks?
Let me just go through here and see if there was something. Follow up. I know you all had a question on home delivered meals. It's included in the agent. That's why you don't see it on that line item.
That did. Home delivered meal.
Shows it out because it's not separate.
Right. It's all consolidated into that one department now. Again, this format that you have here is basically in the budget ordinance format. So once we get to the point where you all say, hey, let's go ahead and put this out to the public, I will take this and then put it into a different document or just the budget ordinance so that we can put it out there for the public.
What is the statutory requirement for our budget approval?
Schedule?
Yes, when do we have to have this adopted? Budget.
It needs to be adopted by June 20th. May 16th is today. So unless there's some major issues, we can call for a public hearing, and the public hearing should be on June 6th.
Members, y'all all clear?
We can publicize it, get them to see what's going on, and then they can come back. We can have it on that session meeting for the public comment. That'll give us plenty of time to June 20th to adopt or whatever we need to do at that point.
And board members, let's be proud we're commissioners tonight. Because I want you to know, looking at this budget, every department gave us what it is that they need in order to make their department what they believe it needs to be. And according to this budget, we have met the requirements of what they have requested us to do. Let me say that one more time. We didn't have to say to no department, we're gonna cut you $500,000, $1 million, whatever. We were able to accommodate the department heads. And I think that's just great, because that make our meeting here tonight, okay, so much better. We ain't got to wrestle with where we're gonna cut.
Right.
Where we're gonna cut from. And our county manager has done just a superb job of putting all of this together. Okay.
When Rivers and Associates, excuse me, gave us the presentation on the Northampton County Waste Asset Management Plan. And in there, they recommended that we do some updates in 22 and 23 fiscal year. Have those things been considered under Public Works? Those projects. One is, they recommended the Pendleton well reconditioning for fiscal year 22-23 at $120,000. The Potty Casey well reconditioning for 22-23 at $120,000. And there were some in there for 2021. 21 and 22. I guess we did those already.
I would have to get back with Becky on those, but I know that she gave me a complete budget of what she needed.
She did the budget. She told her, look at,
I can,
yes, and I know
Double
one
check.
was for a big pump,
Uh,
$45,000 pump she needed, and let's go forward.
mhm.
So what I'm telling you folks is,
right. And on the capital side, you can't do every capital project in 1 year, so we have the 5-year plan. That 5-year plan is not included in this because, you know, I came in March and I just need to get on this and get a budget to you all so we can adopt it, a realistic budget. But this year we will revamp and look at that 5-year outlay plan again and make sure that anything that was missed this time around, or not missed, but we said that I'm going to get you as much as you can. And what we tried to do was make sure all the operational expenses, anything they need to run the department is included in this budget.
Mm.
You know, with any budget, people are gonna give you their wish list.
Well, this wasn't a wish
So-
list. These were
This was,
solely
And I'm not saying that that's,
So we
I'm
don't
saying in
have
general,
the issue that we had in Gettysburg recently with the water.
right?
With the water.
And she did put in, I think it's like $356,000 worth of capital.
Just wanted to make sure that we were
I saw.
following what they had recommended.
Yeah, and I
We did.
unfortunately, I don't have that, so I can get that document. I can give her a
She
call
does.
first thing in the morning
she's
and
got it.
make sure that this, what she's requested was what's on that document. I know she requested $355,000 worth of capital outlay. But we'll make sure, you know, we still have opportunity. If there's anything significant that needs to be added, we'll get that in.
Yes, sir.
Under number 6, I just want to make sure that the spelling
Number,
on section 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Program areas from the bottom, on the subtotal health, human services health. Should that be capital letters? I think I wrote that on my last meeting as something to check, and I see it's still there. I just want to make sure.
showing on the same place.
Section
Human services,
above Kate B. Reynolds grant.
what are you looking at? The AIDS program.
Yes, should that be capital, all caps? Just want to make sure I'm looking at the right program.
Okay.
So it should be capital.
Board members, anything else you need to, before we give the authorization to our,
Under the recreation, I would like to look at, I think I sent that email. The grounds at the Creasy Center. And what it would take for our recreation department to maintain that property. As that's adding a substantial amount of acreage to their existing tractors and their manpower. And to drag the walking track, and it's used by seniors. But we just want to make sure it's something that's gonna, if you invest a little bit, it's gonna take less manpower to keep it up. They're having to go out there and take equipment to drag it. If we could put something in there to keep it where there's no grass coming inside the walking path.
I told him when he did the budget to include that. I don't know whether he did or not.
I think the only
You
thing I
got
saw
here.
was creating the concession stuff.
yeah.
He,
Go back and take a look.
you go back there and see here where he got it for the upkeep.
Mhm.
Okay. Board members, any other, we need to go to equalization. Any other question? If so, all you gotta do is let him know, and he will certainly consider it and appropriate, he will include it, okay? All you gotta do is email and let him know.
Prior to our next board meeting, we're gonna have another, that will give us another work session to see any How long does it have to sit out for public viewing?
10 days.
10 days.
We're gonna put
So
it
we have
out.
to do it.
We're gonna put it
Yeah.
out to now. But then when we come back, we can still change it. We just gotta put it out there for 10 days for what we have right now.
So whatever recommendations we make tonight. So what is our recommendation about the proposed 0.5% or 1/4% or whatever decrease?
We're gonna do that. It's just my way of doing it was because I wanted to see if there were gonna be any changes that we need to make in this. Then when we come back, we would add that to how much it is that we decide to do. Y'all rather do it differently, I mean, no, but I really wanted everything to be there so that when we look at the decrease, we can see.
That's why I was thinking if we were gonna do it tonight, so that the next time it would be included or excluded. We can still change, but at least what our thoughts are right now. And either way.
I just wanted the hard numbers to look at, that's all. I just wanted round numbers, that was being that. Situation, I wanted the hard numbers to look at. This is it. Now, what can we do out of that 1.7 right here that we got? What can we do? How much can we, what would be sensible for us to reduce taxes? That was mine. Because we probably could have more, but see, we got to take on that insurance payment for our employees. That's 0.5%. Right? But I just wanted to tell that was my own. Unless you all want to put a number out there.
So the Lowe's contract, or the Lowe's economic package, that stimulus package that we gave them many years ago, those funds start coming into our budget with next fiscal year.
Was that?
Lowe's. We were paying for Lowe's.
Yes,
That's what
right.
I'm saying, that stimulus package.
Right.
In essence,
we don't pay anything now.
so we don't, so
Lowe's, we
moving
pay.
forward, there's nothing.
That's right.
Right.
And then thinking about our NC car.
NC car. What's that amount
be
that we get
coming
each
in.
month?
Right.
You had that coming in.
4,500 or something.
4,500.
And that's not included in.
No, that's not included. That's
So I would feel comfortable putting a proposed 1%, 0.5% decrease at 109,000. That will put us at 90 cents per 100. I would like to see us move forward with that, especially knowing the savings that we have and the additional revenue that we have coming in. It's just a work session. We're not voting, but I
know.
would like to see it.
I would like to see it more than that. That's what I want to.
We can go up.
I really like to see it a little bit more than that. Because if NC car, our deal with them is if they get the financing, then we'll have all of that coming to our, we just
Right now,
did
we
this.
just got a trickle.
That's right. Got it. Mhm. Okay, so that's
So
that.
I'm looking at the trickle compared to this half. So if the finance come in, we could change, but I don't think we're gonna know anything
No,
between now and
we
when we have to
won't.
do this. So at least we would have something.
But I also would like, before I would make that, I would like to look at the tax department. We need to have a conversation with the tax department. Finding out how much back taxes still owe to us that we can look forward coming in if we got people working on it, and I think one of our problems is that we've had close to $3 million back taxes to come in. Yes. 1.2, okay, 1.2.
So what would be our determination between whether we do a half or whether we do more?
Because how much more we got coming in, how much we see we got coming in from the back tax. How much we
Tempering that
got?
with, but the amount of projected decrease in sales tax. So kind of trying to go,
Oh, okay,
we get more, we're gonna lose more. So
okay.
can we at least have him bring back the half percent and then you
Yeah.
pass some information before
Let's
then and we
go.
can do more?
I have no problem. I just like to do more. I like to save taxpayers as much as we can. That's what we promised.
So we're doing a half, well, thinking about a half, and then also having to absorb the cost of we kind of split the insurance change.
Yeah.
So we absorb, as a county government, we absorb part of that from our employees.
So we go with that. I have no problem.
But then if you have some more information
You're
between
right.
now and then, we
That's
can
what,
change.
that's what we need to do.
Okay,
Because we
because you
can-
said we were gonna put this out there right now.
Yeah, we're gonna
At
put
least
this
we
out.
have that.
You're right, okay. Okay, and then we can. Okay.
Yes, sir. Y'all good? with that?
Mhm, I'm fine.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, sir.
thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Information, thank you.
Okay,
Move forward.
so we'll put it out for the public.
You're right, so they can just, yes. Okay, and then we'll come back. It's not finalized now, until we come back and we can still adjust it, do whatever we need to do. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms.
Now we want to adjourn this meeting of our work session, and we want to move right into what we have. Okay.
Can I take that $1,000?
Okay, all right,
That's what my mom.
okay. Thank
Hi.
you.
We're in recess.
Yes, right, thank you.
Can you
Ma'am?
mute the mic?
time, we'll call our meeting to order. All of you here tonight, all present. Thank you for being here and being part of all of our discussion. At this time, we note that begin our meeting as we always do. We have our mission statement. The wall behind me. Note the mission statement says, along with our mission statement, we also have our vision statement. All behind. We come to take care of our county business. We want to make sure that we are following what we said we would do as far as our mission and as far as our vision. At this time, I'm going to ask you for a few moments that you would join us in silence. There was a killing in New York. There are those who right now going through much because of their killing. And if you for a few moments think about them and others that's going through much right now, we will most appreciate. Thank you so much. At this time, if you please stand with me and please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a agenda. I know you have received the agenda. We have an opportunity to talk with our county manager, myself, about this agenda. Perhaps we can assist those conversations. If you have those conversations, you might want to add something or delete something from our agenda. Something with this agenda that from this evening, please feel free to let us know at this time. Have the agenda. Are there any items that we need to add?
Chair Tyner,
Yes.
we received information from our health department, from Ms. Cheryl Warren. It was a child fatality prevention team report. Although it does not require board action, I believe we should have this on record as having received this important report. Each board member should have it in the front of your packet as an insert. I would recommend that we place it between e-bodyguard contract and budget amendments as just for information.
Board members?
I make a motion to approve the insert of the child fatality prevention team report. Second.
Are there any discussion? All in favor?
I do have one question. Are there any closed session topics for today?
Okay.
Chair Faulkner, if the board so pleases, I do have one attorney-client privilege matter. Very brief.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Faulkner,
I Boone.
Aye.
in accordance with the rules of procedures adopted by this board in section 153A44 of the North Carolina General Statutes, it is the duty of every board member present to vote on all matters coming before the board, unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have a conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict and the board will consider the matter.
No conflict, Buffalo.
No conflict.
No conflict, Faulkner.
No conflict, Boone.
Bring more visualization to this time. Have meeting to discuss those kinds of things that we need to discuss in that business session as we are the board of education. So this time, do I need to dismiss?
We're gonna recess this meeting of board commission and convene your board of equalization.
We are recessed, and then we're going into our meeting. At this time, we have to have the Mason.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So the purpose here this afternoon for the Board of Equalization and Review is to convene the Board of Equalization and Review. The next item on the agenda is the administration of oath. If the members, you all have your oaths. Okay. I have the Bible here. If you would place your right hand as if you were on the Bible and raise your left hand and repeat after me. Repeat your name individually and then repeat after me. I,
Faulkner,
Nicole J. Boone,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States
that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and the laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent herewith,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent herewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
as a member of the Board of Equalization and Review for Northampton County, North Carolina,
as a member of the Board of Equalization and Review of Northampton County, North Carolina,
and that I will not allow my actions as a member of the Board of Equalization and Review
and that I will not allow my actions as a member of the Board of Equalization and Review
to be influenced by my personal or political friendships or obligations, so help me God.
to be influenced by my personal or political friendships or obligations, so help me God.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from May 3rd, 2021. Those are included in your packet. The last sheet in your package.
The motion. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes as presented on May 3rd.
Second, Buffalo.
Third, are there any questions in discussion? Not all in favor of the known by usual sign, aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye.
Faulkner.
I Boone.
As have it, motion is carried.
The next item on the agenda is the call for appeals, which I will do so now. We wish to open the board for receiving written appeals at this time. We request that all appeals be presented in writing to Jamie B. Mason, Clerk of the Board of Equalization and Review, and mailed to the Northampton County Tax Office at P.O. Box 637 in Jackson, North Carolina, zip code 27845, and must be postmarked by 5 p.m., June 6, 2022. Any questions thus far?
I have none.
Okay, next item is to recess until June the 6th, 6 p.m., 2022.
This time, we're going to recess this equalization board until June 6th at 6 p.m. Okay, thank you. Now we're going to reconvene the Board of Commissioners. I'm going to ask Ms. Mason to please come forward again and help us with Everon tax appeal.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
Okay, I'm before you this evening with ad valorem tax appeals for motor vehicle. My purpose is to obtain the board's approval for 14 appeals, amount of $1,175.80. This is for 3 reasons. A tax imposed through clerical error, an illegal tax, or a tax levy for an illegal purpose. Of course, the Board of Commissioners has the authority to grant the refund due to any of those reasons.
What is your pleasure, board members?
Make a motion that we approve the 14 appeals in the amount of $1,175.80 for the 3 reasons eligible as listed on the attached document.
Second.
Moving properly second, would refund the total of $1,175.80. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, let know by you sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye.
Faulkner.
I Boone.
As have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. Next before you, board members, are a consortium resolution that we note that we are trying to bring houses into this whole area. And this agreement with the Roanoke Area Housing Consultant. And you have had the opportunity to read through it. This consortium is working with counties, Halifax and Bertie and Hertford County and Martin County. And talking about cities also that's included and the municipalities that's included in those towns. Enclosed is a resolution that they have given to all of us that we might become likewise a part of this consortium. Perhaps Commissioner Buffalo, who worked so well with this, who have represented us into this, could you want to expound on this anymore?
Good evening again.
Good evening.
All of the municipalities in Northampton County has agreed to participate in this Shonook Area Housing Consortium, except for one, that is the town of Seaboard. Sally Surface and I went to a meeting again to ask one last time before we signed off on the documents tonight if they would reconsider, and they have said no. I just wanted to go on record with that. But this will give us an opportunity to all of the counties to work together to try to bring some low income and other additional housing into all of the counties that are mentioned. And there is a match that we will put forth this year of between the 5 counties of $17,000. And the counties have all decided that instead of asking the municipalities to pay a portion of the 17,000, that we will divide it within the 5 counties and we will pay that portion likewise. The information that is presented tonight will need to be back into HUD by the middle of June. So that is why it's on the agenda. And I think we can put it on our Facebook page if anyone, or the county's page if anyone wants to read what the consortium is talking about. But each year we would be eligible to receive at least $733,000 to help with any housing issues or concerns that we may be working on. Again, to bring some rooftops into each of the counties that will be a part of this consortium. I think it's a really, I think it's a great opportunity because we do need additional housing. A lot of the housing in the counties are aging, maybe can't be rehabbed, but needs to be replaced. And I think this will give us an opportunity to leverage other funding opportunities to help us do that. That's all I have.
Is it true that HUD is already approved?
Yes, we have been approved as a housing consortium.
And with that approval came how much money?
733,000. Could be a little bit more when we get the final information back again. But right now we know it's 733,000 that each year will be coming to the 5 counties to make a decision on what projects we will be working on. And there will be representation at the table, planning, not just one county making all of the decisions. And at this point, Halifax County is our lead county in this consortium. But none of the counties can hold the money, so to speak. So if the monies, I think, will go through, it has to go through a 501c3. And at this time, I believe it will be CADA, Chinook Area Development Association of North Carolina, Inc. And they have a history of working with different housing programs. So it's a good fit. Thank you.
The reason I did that, because she's been representing us at all the meetings. She's been at every one of them and been an advocate for us, for Northampton County. So just want to thank you for doing that and for being there. When I could not be there, county manager could not be there. So thank you. And this has been an ongoing, it just didn't start yesterday. It started at least 12 months ago. They brought this 18 months ago. They brought it to our attention. That's all of us to be a part. So at this time, you have it before you. I need your blessings on this with the motion that we would be jointly.
And just to clarify, board members, in your packet, you have both a resolution adopting the joint agreement and the agreement itself. So just an abundance of caution, please approve both if you're so desire.
Commissioner Buffalo, what do you recommend that we approve
I
this?
make a motion that
Thank you.
we adopt the Chinook Area Housing Consortium as well as the resolution for adoption of a joint cooperative agreement for the establishment of the Chinook Area Housing Consortium.
Second.
Been moving properly. Second, Commissioner Evans, second. Are there any questions or any discussion? No, if not, all in favor, then know by usual sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye.
Faulkner.
I Boone.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, we shall move forward. And at this time, we're going to ask Trillian to please come, Health Resource, to please come, and Mr. Baker, give us a
brief update.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate
A brief
that.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing me to be here, and thank you for the rest of the commissioners for allowing me to be here and just give you a few updates. do I have to? Anyway, well, thank you. I'm also technically challenged.
Yeah, I am too.
Apologize. Just so, to start off with, just to say that since I was here last, we've added 2 more counties. We're now at 28. We added Halifax, which is a great move. There's a lot of compatibility between Northampton County and Halifax when you look at District 6 and all the work. There's some work going on with the opioid crisis between those 2 counties and funding as well. So, and then in February, we added Bladen County as well. So this past year, we served 58,000 people. And the total amount of dollars that was spent on those services was $475 million. And currently, we manage a network of 500 providers across our 28 counties. So just as a reminder from last year with Medicaid transformation, biggest change in Medicaid in probably 40 years for our communities. And we had 5 plans, 5 insurance companies that were awarded the standard plan of the Division of Mental Health. Majority of those individuals were required to sign up for one of those plans. And so that happened. It was effective July 1 of last year. And it's been going fairly smoothly. We've been trying to keep up, but that's strictly with the standard plan. We don't have any more control or any more jurisdiction over the individuals that are being served under the standard plan. And they're managing the mild and moderate symptoms of those individuals in our communities. So Trillium, which is one of 6 MCOs now across North Carolina, was awarded the tailored plan. And that will be an effective date of July 1 of this year. It started out being July 1 and they have extended it to December. And basically what that's doing, that is actually charging us with continuing to manage the very severe behavioral health, intellectual and developmental disabilities, and substance abuse services for the rest of the Medicaid population, in addition to the physical health, which is something we've not done before. And in addition to physical health, the pharmacy as well. So we're in the process of contracting with, there's about 2,000 pharmacists across our 28 counties. We're trying to contract with all the primary care physicians so that all of our tailored plan recipients can continue to go to the doctor of their choice and be able to service paid for by Trillium. And so that will be effective December 1. We've got a readiness review scheduled. It is, when I made this PowerPoint, we didn't know when that was, but it's July 13th and 14th. And we've been continuing to send documents, policies, and procedures every week since we've been awarded that plan for them to review our readiness, even, just by documents that we send that will be on site for those 2 days in July to finish out their review before we can fully implement the tailored plan in December. All right. So just some organizational changes, some additional changes that we're having to do. We've always had a call center for our crisis, 24/7, 365. We are now going to be responsible for implementing a pharmacy line specifically for medication questions for consumers, a provider line, any questions that providers have around their services, around their claims, why they're not getting paid, or any kind of help that way. We've got a nursing line, any kind of medical questions that our consumers are going to be asking for. And I think the greatest thing with the tailored plan is this care management platform. We have care management now, but only certain people can get it based on the contract with the division. When we implement the tailored plan, every single person that's on the tailored plan will have a care manager that will be managing their whole care, not just their behavioral health. So basically, they'll have one insurance card They can get their flu shot. They can get their psychiatric medications. They can get their services. They can go to the pharmacy and get their medicine and get all of that with one insurance. They don't have to keep up with this and this and this, which is going to be a great thing, I think. So one of the other things that we actually did more of an organization around was our disaster response unit in terms of any kind of disasters that we may have, hurricanes, tornadoes. They are steady meeting with the emergency management department as well as working with providers and getting their disaster response plans into us. Some of the other projects that we're doing, the naloxone kits is something we've been doing for several years. We're able to get some money and we purchase kits for our counties. We share those kits with law enforcement in Northampton County. We share them with EMS in Northampton County and did both of those last year. One of the biggest things that we've done is the mobile clinics, and Northampton County will have one of those clinics. And I want to thank Commissioner Tyner and Edwards for coming and speaking that day at the ribbon cutting. And I just want to give you a quick update. As everybody else has been struggling with hiring staff, physicians, with nurses especially, for some reason not where they all are, but maybe they left the country, I'm not sure, but that's a big gap. So they've hired the drivers, they've hired a nurse practitioner, they have hired some clinicians. It's the nurse. And then when they get all that ready, they'll start looking at where in the counties, and we'll have some conversation at that point with the county about where they think it may be more beneficial, where we could park these vehicles. And it could be there may need to be more than one location. So, and looking at that schedule. So that is coming up. One more, there it is. Okay, just in closing, I just want to let you know we served 684 Northampton County consumers last year. 568 of those had mental health issues. 115 of those had substance use issues, and 67 of those had intellectual developmental disabilities. That's where. And those services cost a little over $8 million last year. Not including the mental health first aid training that we provide and the CIT training for law enforcement and that charge. That's about as quick as I can do it.
You did well tonight.
Absolutely.
Y'all have any questions for me?
I would like for Mr. Edwards, who has been a part of your organization, to represent us really and see if he has any comments he'd like to make. He invited me up to Gettysburg where we had the open cutting of the river.
Put you on the spot, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
If you come, you got to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to thank Mr. Baker. As you know, this is, mental health. And as a matter of fact, May is mental health awareness. When you look at, where we are and seeing the number of citizens that are being served, directly here in Northampton County at that ribbon cutting ceremony, it was very wonderful to see.
Can I just interrupt you and say that I was so proud of because I have some of the smaller counties. That's one of the reasons I got a mobile clinic for Northampton County, but we have some other counties, and Northampton County was so well represented. There was a lot of people in the community. People the mayor was there. I made him speak to. I had no idea he was even coming.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of great, representation. But I just wanted to say that because it speaks to the county and how supportive you are to the community. I'm sorry.
Well, I think you said it all, Mr. Baker.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine, but no, just want to, and then the part that we could actually go to or through the bus so that we could exactly see what was being proposed, the reception component, where the treatment would take place, the medicine, and much needed, and we thank Trillium daily. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Board members, any other board members, any other comments? Any other board members? Opportunity, any other board members? Thank you so much. Continue to look out for Northampton County. We look for, yes, sir. Okay, let us know how we can help you, because mental health seems to be a problem. It's going to be even more of a problem in days to come. We want to make sure that we provide for our citizens the help that they need in that area.
And opioids also.
Opioid, and our county manager will be talking to you about that, because there are some funds that's coming to our county, and we want to make sure that we have those qualified people like you all to be able to, okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, okay. Board members, if we look at tab 9, which we see our Ms. Ramson, the communication directors, coming to us talking about e-body contract.
Good morning to the board members, finance and county manager, and clerk to the board. As you all should have in front of you, the packet that I sent over is to respectfully request permission for Northampton County E911 to enter into agreement with e-bodyguard platform to integrate the interagency digital evidence collection and any items pertaining to discovery on a given criminal case. E-bodyguard serves as a bridge to support the emergency assistance and swift due process for criminal justice and those that need it. It also is a goal to reduce the burden of evidence with time and effort to process the discovery by using the digital evidence, which means that it will be placed in the iCloud by e-bodyguard, and it is FBI CJIS compliant, so it is a secure network. Only e-bodyguard will have access to the iCloud. It's also time saved not having to search for audio due to its link to the call itself. At the present moment, if I have 4 telecommunicators working at one time, I have to go through all 4 telecommunicators' phone calls, whether it's on the admin line or the 911 line. And that's time consuming because you have to listen to every little bit. And sometimes it's broken up into seconds and sometimes it's broken up into minutes. So that's the time consuming part. It will ease, you no longer have to email or share the drive by CD, which is the old way nowadays, to the DA's office, or if law enforcement requests a copy of the recording of the 911 line or the admin line. In the last year, we have been receiving double the amount of requests from the DA's office. Just today, which is Monday, I got 3 requests from the DA's office. So that will cut down on that time consuming part. Also, the DA's office will have access to the audio. Once it leaves e-bodyguard, it will go straight to the DA's office. My center will no longer be the middleman, so they can get that information from the iCloud itself. The executive director has already talked to our DA's office, and our DA's office on board. And she's currently talking to Bertie and Hertford County coming on board as well. Halifax and Warren County is already implementing the software. As you can see, number 4, based on the price size of our agency, we're considered as a small size agency, which consists of a one-time setup fee of $22.50 and the initial $37.50. So the in total initial cost will be $6,000, and there following each year, it will be the $37.50. And number 5, the integration of e-bodyguard platform is not eligible for 911 funds, so I will have to have county funds in order to integrate this platform. Also, another great thing, once my county transfers to Southern Software, which I came to you all at the first of the year for that, there is an app that you all can download. You can put your personal information in as far as your medical, any allergies that you may have, any protection orders that you may have out, or if you have a problem with someone, you can put that person in. And what that app does is that you You won't have to traditionally dial 911 by phone. You can hit that app and you can dial 911. It does not use cell tower, and it does not use a landline or a cell phone. It uses your GPS. So that's why it's secure. So if someone is breaking in your house and you don't want to talk, you can just hit that button and type in what you want to type in, and the person that's breaking in won't hear you talking. But we can see your information over the 911 platform, and we can get you law enforcement, whatever you need to use securely. And the last thing I have is,
GPS.
as I said, it is properly, evidence is properly handled from the original crime. So from the time that you dial 911 or through the app, it is secure. No one knows that you're dialing, no one knows that you're calling, and that chain of custody goes from my 911 center to e-bodyguard to DA's office. Any questions or comment on what e-bodyguard can do, or does do? And one more point. It was started in Colorado by Melissa Faith Hart. And besides Colorado, North Carolina will be the first state besides Colorado that can use this platform. Any questions or comments that you all have for me?
Board members, she's asking the question.
I have a question
That's right.
about the marketing of the app. How will our citizens, how will the word get out to our citizens? We all live in some areas that are cell phone challenged, but the GPS works.
Yes.
And so with people being able to get help,
True.
medical help or law enforcement, to know that that app is there. It's working. If someone dials 911 and the 911 operator is saying something on the other end, then the person that you're trying to hide from can hear you.
Yes, that's why this app was started by Melissa Faith Hart. She had a personal incident that occurred. And, you know, first we go to our local law enforcement. We expect those local law enforcement to help us no matter what. But, you know, the burden of proof is what, at the end of the day, is what you need. She didn't have that burden of proof. She just had her word and what happened. So that's what created her to start this app. Yes, it is a concern. Right now we have questions that we can ask. Like if you call and say you have a domestic, we can say, what do you want on your pizza order? We have questions that can keep you from not really saying what you need to say, but we know what you're saying. Yes, it is a cell phone tower issue in this county, especially on that end and in Seaboard. So that's why I feel passionate about this e-bodyguard, because once we get the app up and running, that is another tool for us to help the citizens and the visitors of Northampton without traditionally dialing 911 by phone.
So is there a marketing?
The executive producer, Heather Joyner, some of you may know her. She was the director of 911 in Halifax. So she joined Melissa in getting the word out about e-bodyguard. So she will be talking to us and other counties and the citizens of how you can start your e-bodyguard app. I have the app at this time. It is pretty cool.
Question, board. Bad? Board members?
You see, you already had the app, Ms. Ryan?
Mhm. And it is, for those that have not bit the apple, it is
Yeah, what's the name of the app? That's
it's called e-bodyguard.
e-bodyguard.
Yes. It is Android and Apple.
You can get that without this too, right?
Yes.
No, they already trying you out. You know,
Yeah.
they don't trust your word. Yeah, they don't
It's
trust your
Android
word.
and Apple compatible.
Clear,
Yeah.
right.
Safety for our citizens is what we all about.
Man.
Look out for our citizens.
Chairman, I move approval for the,
Okay.
for the communications. Yeah, okay, to get e-bodyguard to help safety in Northampton County.
Been already second, ready for your question, all in favor? Let know by you sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye.
Aye, Faulkner. Aye, Boone.
Let's have it.
And one last point, I did send them to Mr. Keller beforehand so he could look at the contract.
Oh, yeah. You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you for all you're doing.
E-body go.
Oh,
I see it, Ms. Brown. Thank you. I got it.
okay, now we're gonna go back to the information that was given to us from our health department. Am I right? Information. Let it be known that we have the information. And we want it to be a part of our record. Child fatality prevention team report. Are there any, we got this from our health director, Smith. Well, members, you have it for information. Have any questions about it, please, please feel free to call Mr. Smith. He will be able to answer. But this is a report that goes into Raleigh, and he's supposed to come to us, so we would see it as it is sent to Raleigh.
Chair Tyner,
Yes.
I would ask that the revised agenda be shared with Ms. Warren to use for her documentation versus the signature of the clerk to the board,
So let's
in addition to the signature of the clerk to the
we'll add that to it. Okay, as we move forward, this time we have our budget amendments.
Good evening.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
on the last page for that Northampton Child Fatality Prevention Team,
yes.
there's a name that's up there that we definitely need to look at a replacement because that person no longer works for the
Okay,
division.
we'll do. We will let her know that likewise.
Yes,
Mm.
just a point of
Okay,
reference.
thank you. Thank you. Budget amendments.
Good evening, board chairman, vice chairman, and board members.
Good evening.
evening.
I bring before you the budget amendment from Department of Social Service. It is for $175,664.80. And it's to receive funding from NCD, HHS, APS under SSA Title 120.
Go on and we will approve all of these at the same time.
Oh, okay. And then the second amendment is for Health Department. And this amendment is for $10,095. And they receive funding for breastfeeding per council, your council.
Those are your two.
Yes, sir.
Okay, board members, you have two requests for budget amendments. What is your pleasure? Questions, first of all, any questions? Not, I should, what's your pleasure?
Chairman Town, I make a motion that we approve budget amendments number 35 and number 36 as presented tonight.
Second.
Up to second, that we'll approve those budget amendments. Are there any questions? Any discussion? Not, all in favor, let it be known by you sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye.
Aye, Faulkner.
Aye, Boone.
As have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. At this time, we shall ask, are there any comments? This time? No public comments. County manager?
I don't have anything additional. Say thank you again for allowing me to present the budget and for each one of you and being diligent in your review. It helps me to stay sharp. And also thanking the citizens that come out every like we have a meeting for showing your interest and concern.
Thank you. We appreciate you and appreciate all that you're doing to help Northampton County. Really do appreciate it. At this time, I'm going to ask board members if you have any information, announcements that you'd like to make. You have the right to do so at this time. I'll start with first Commissioner Boone.
I don't have any comments.
You done?
Thank you.
Can't believe it. Thank you, thank you. Commissioner Buffalo. Commissioner Buffalo.
Good evening. I'd again like to say, as Chairman Connor, you said in the beginning, let's remember the families in prayer across the United States with the 5 mass shootings that we've had since Friday, especially the horrific one in New York. I want to say congratulations to the 2022 graduates of the 55th Annual Commencement Exercise at Halifax Community College on Saturday. The Museum of the Albemarle will be hosting Guardians of the Land, Discovering Indigenous Americans, which is a ribbon cutting on June 4th at 10:30 a.m. at the museum. And also, we'd like to invite, the Friends of the Museum would like to invite the citizens to come out and join us for a fundraiser entitled Next Head Casino Party Fundraiser on Saturday, June 25th, 2022, from 7 to 11 p.m. Northampton County is one of the 13 counties that the museum serves. So we could use your support, ones, and come out and have fun with us on June 25th. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Edwards.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just remembering that May is Mental Health Month and make sure we just keep all citizens as Commissioner Buffalo in our thoughts and prayers throughout this nation as that massive shooting has occurred. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Those are my comments.
Thank you. Vice Chairman.
I just want to thank those who are listening on Zoom or YouTube, for those citizens who are present, and to let you know that we are very excited about the continued engagement. Tomorrow is Election Day. Go out and cast your vote. No matter who you vote for, exercise your right to vote. There are many places in this world that is not an option, and we don't want to take that for granted. So have a great evening. That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, what all of you commissions do and all support that you give. We thank you for your working diligently day in, day out for Northampton County. I do have one or two things I'd like to mention to you, all the county commissioners. The workers in Northampton County is working in our county government asked me to please to inform you all that they want to say to you, thank you for what you've done for them last Friday, for the half a day that you let them out of work and for the funds that we appropriated for them. I need to say that to you, and I told them I would say it openly and publicly, that they want to say thank you. Because with those funds, you know, that wasn't a priority for water and sewer. That's what they would like for us to do, but we made that decision because we could do it. And I want to say again, thank you, county commissioners, for making that decision. And the people who are working with us want you to know that they appreciate all that you're doing. Also have a big announcement that I'd like to make to all of you, that internet is on its way to Northampton County. It's on its way. If you all just give us a little bit more time, we're going to make a big announcement. But between two companies, they plan to, educational folks, have us some internet all over this county by at least November, December. So that we will, that's what we're working on as we speak. I just can't give you all the details about it, but I know that we all been working, trying to get internet. And I want you to know we've been in contact with them. We've been in meeting with them. And it is, county manager know it is on its way. It is on its way to little Northampton County. We hope to be one of the first in rural Northampton, in rural North Carolina to have this for all the citizens of the county. So, and the rate that we're talking about will be something, the rate that we're charged will be affordable, and I mean real affordable, because it seems as though we will qualify for some other federal funds that will help us in our rate that we'll be charging our people. So I just want you to know that is certainly is coming. We also want you to know that we got word from our builder that he's planning on real soon. He putting equipment out there on the ground for the new courthouse, that it will be starting to come up in just a few days. Also want you to know that we did receive a word that we have received $3 million for our housing program. We're waiting for it to come down to us about how we can bring that money to us and put it in our account. But the housing program is alive. It is not dead. We will have some housing here in Jackson. We have the land. I want you to know it will be coming. And I hope that before the fall, that there'll be somebody out there putting up some houses. We'll bring all that information to you as soon as we get the information from Washington, D.C. That's where that is coming from. So I just wanted you all to know that we're still moving. Things are still working. Water for phase 6 water is working. Please be patient. The citizens of Northampton County is coming, and we're looking at somewhere around August. Am I right, County Manager? August, we're looking at the rest of the citizens who don't have water, especially on the eastern end of the county. We're looking at somewhere around that time they'll start that water program. As all of you know, we've been allotted that $4 million for that project. So that'll mean that 200 more of our citizens will be receiving clean water. I do want to thank the citizens of county for their patience on this, but water is on its way. Water is on its way. So again, thank you for working with us as we continue to move our county forward. There will be some special meetings that we'll be calling in a few days, board members, that we'll be talking about some new kinds of things that will be happening in our county. And we will certainly let you know of that in time, and the citizens, we will also let them be informed of those things. So again, thank you for working with us. Our county manager, thank you for all that you're doing. There's a lot of pressure in that office. I'm glad to be from under that pressure. I know y'all say I'm looking better since I come from that office. That office hellhole. I'm glad to be from out of there. It's just a matter of being all day long dealing with that. So I want to say thank you for that. Board members, are there any other things that you need to say tonight? I'm begging and pleading with all of our citizens. It wasn't all the time in Northampton County that all of us could vote. Please go vote. Vote your choice, but please go vote. Please go vote tomorrow from 6:30 in the morning to 7:30 in the evening. You have an opportunity to vote. If you know someone who don't have a right, you want to be a good Samaritan, then take them to vote. Please, I'm begging and pleading with all of our citizens. As your chairman of your county commission, we need all of our citizens to please go and exercise that right to vote. There'll be nothing else claiming our attention. We do know that our attorney said that there is item that he needs to bring before us, we will entertain a motion now that we will go into a closed session.
Chairman Tyner, I make a motion that we enter into closed session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege, which is General Statute 143-318-11A3.
Move the proper second that we will go into closed session according to what numbers she read out. Any question, discussion? All in favor, let it known by usual sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
I, Faulkner.
Aye, Boo.
Aye, have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. We try